Welcome back to the channel where we mix things up, and today we're going to be doing another reaction video to predicting how many Hall of Famers are on every NBA roster. So just a warning, this was made on July 6th, 2020, so it's like November 12th right now, so it's a bit outdated, but it's made by Greg Swartz, so shout out to him. So yeah, the Basketball Hall of Fame is the greatest honor with only 150 players since 1959. Wow, I thought there were more people because a lot of people say that it's probably the easiest Hall of Fame to get, but it's still an accomplishment. I thought there was more, but that's actually pretty surprising. With so much talent in the league today, we can see that the number increased drastically over the last 10 to 20 years. Using Basketball Reference's Hall of Fame probability, we have a good idea of which players have a real chance at the Hall of Fame. And so it's going to be broken down to this: Hall of Fame locks, veteran players with an extreme high Hall of Fame probability rating, and or younger superstars who are on the pace to become some of the league's greatest. So I'm guessing like Hall of Fame locks, you got like LeBron, and then I guess you would have Luka in there, I guess. And then on the bubble, you have guys climbing the Hall of Fame probability list who have not yet established themselves as locks. So I would say that is like LaMarcus Aldridge, something like that. And rising star player in their first seasons who don't have the necessary resumes yet, but have the time and skill set to become Hall of Famers like Zion Williamson. So yeah, so those make sense. So yeah, so now let's begin with the Atlanta Hawks, with two players being Vince Carter and Trae Young. I agree, Vince Carter is a no-doubt Hall of Famer, 94.6% chance, and I think Trae will be a Hall of Famer. Now, they also have John Collins in the Rising Stars. I don't think he'll be a Hall of Famer, but he's going to be like on the cusp. But I don't think he's going to make it. So yeah, he retired this year at age 43. He's placed 9th at Basketball Reference's probability among active players. 8-time All-Star, greatest dunker, one of the greatest dunkers of all time. And Trae Young has already become an All-Star starter in the age of 21. He joined Oscar Robinson as the only two players in history to average at least 29 points and 9 assists in his first 2 seasons. That's very impressive. Sure, the Hawks didn't win, but the team was very bad. Collins can't be ruled out as the 22-year-old power forward became the first player in NBA history to average, 20 points, 10 rebounds, while shooting 58% overall and 40% from 3. Wow, I actually didn't know that. I didn't know he was the first player in NBA history. That is of course, a really good player for only 22-year-old, but I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So yeah, so we got Trae Young and Vince Carter for the Atlanta Hawks. Next, Boston Celtics, we have two being Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum. Okay, so they have no locks yet. On the bubble, Kemba Walker. Okay, Kemba is a very interesting one because he didn't win much. Sure, he made it to the conference finals this year, but unless they can win like a championship, it's very interesting. Kemba hasn't had much playoff experience. He is, a 4 straight All-Star games and a small All-NBA third team. He's, of course, a really good player. And I think that if he wins a championship, maybe one more All-NBA team, being like the second best player on the Celtics team that, like I said, will win a championship, then maybe his time on the Hornets wasn't the best. He kind of put up empty stats, but the Hornets were just bad. And Jason Tatum, I think, will no doubt be a Hall of Famer. He's basically the second best player under 23 years old behind Luka Doncic, over Zion, over Trae. And yeah, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. He's already putting up 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.4 steals. This playoff success has a lot to do whatever they both got in. I think that Jaylen Brown should be a rising star, definitely, because in the playoffs he's been stepping up a lot. So that's kind of a snub for Jaylen Brown on the Rising Stars. If you have John Collins in the Rising Stars, then you gotta have Jaylen Brown on the Rising Stars. Next, we have the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I think that, Kevin Durant has 100% of a Hall of Fame, yes sir. And Kyrie has a 64.8 chance on the bubble. And I think he will make the Hall of Fame, of course. So Durant is the one of only 3 players to get 100%, LeBron James and Chris Paul. And Durant already has 2-time champion and Finals MVP, an MVP and a 4-time scoring champ, 10-time All-Star, and Kyrie has a championship where he was the second best player and hit the game winner. Sure, he hasn't done much on Boston, and hopefully he can prove himself as the second best player alongside KD on the Nets. And then DeAndre Jordan's the only other net on the Hall of Fame probability list, but only has a 1.7 probability chance, and I don't think he's going to make it because he's kind of fell off since Lob City, but yeah, I definitely agree with this. Next, Hornets, we have 0. Yes. We don't know how to talk about them. Sniffed Hall of Fame was Nicholas Batum with a 0.0002% chance. No, he's not going to make it. Bulls? No. Okay, this one's an interesting one because they have a lot of young talent who are not proven. Like right here, Kobe White, Wendell Carter Jr., Larry Markin, and Zach LaVine. They do have Zach LaVine in the Rising Stars, but I don't think any of these will be in the Hall of Fame unless they like draft a LaMelo Ball this year or Anthony Edwards. But right now, I don't think none of these will make the Hall of Fame. Yes, they have a lot of young players who can be all-star status, but none appear to be future superstars. LaVine's already averaging 25.5, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, all rookie first team, and yeah, but he's yet to be an all-star. Yeah, I agree with this, and the Bulls have no future Hall of Famers. Next, the Cavs with Kevin Love. Yes, definitely. 73.5% chance he's gonna make it because of that championship, because of his time in the Timberwolves where he put up the stats. And then on the Cavs, as the third option, he won the chip. He's third among all active players in the Hall of Fame probability. And then he got Drummond with a 2% chance. I don't think he's gonna make it because he doesn't fit in the modern NBA. And if you're gonna be traded for a second round pick, how is a Hall of Famer gonna be traded for a second round pick? I don't get that. And then Colin Sexton is on the rise, definitely. And he already put up like 20.8 points per game in year 2. That's very impressive. He's just a small guard and doesn't have the playmaking to be a point guard. But yeah, I think he definitely can, but right now he isn't. And I don't think he will. Next, Dallas Mavericks, we have 1 Luka Doncic. Definitely Luka's going to be a Hall of Famer. Now, Porzingis is a very interesting one because I think that if injuries were turned off, Porzingis would be a Hall of Famer because he's just so good. Luka, no doubt making it, already putting up 28 points, 9 rebounds, 8.7 assists, and only Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook have done that. And then Porzingis is a very tough one because he's already made an All-Star team and is likely to bump his numbers from 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. And he's just such a unique talent, the unicorn, maybe even the next Dirk Nowitzki. I think that Porzingis is going to be one of those people that could have had the talent to do it, but injuries are going to dwindle his career. It's just his frame is basically like a recipe for success. And yeah, I kind of agree with this, but if injuries are turned off, then Porzingis would definitely make it. Next, we have the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. Definitely. I think Jamal Murray has a chance to be on it. He's like a rising star. I agree because of his playoff run, and Michael Porter Jr. never know. Paul Millsap has the best odds of 5.5%, but yeah, that won't make it because he's been like a 4-time All-Star and all defensive team, but he won't make the Hall of Fame. And I think Jokic is just the best passing big man of all time, just such a unique player, and I think will no doubt make it. Already made an All-NBA first team and All-NBA second team. And then, let's see, so Murray and Porter Jr. are talented, but like future All-Stars instead of Hall of Famers. Yeah, I agree. Next, we have the Pistons with Blake Griffin, no D-Rose. Ooh, God. D-Rose is just such an interesting player. I think that it's just so tough to say because you got people like Chauncey Billups who haven't made the Hall of Fame, Chris Webber. And if you looked at the last Hall of Fame players, you can see that in 2018, there was like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. They've been stacked, and they give out to like 5 players. 2020 class, Kobe, Kevin Garnett, and some other people. I don't remember. And yeah, so that's just so insane. Okay, I think Blake still has a chance, 54% chance. He is a 6-time All-Star, averages 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists over 10 seasons. Greatest dunkers of all time. Yeah, Rose is a tough call because he is an MVP. And then I think these next 2 seasons are going to determine it. If he goes to the Lakers and win a championship, he's a Hall of Famer. It's going to be the same thing as Rondo. If he wins a championship, Rondo won a championship, he's a Hall of Famer. And I think that's what D-Rose has to do. Hopefully they trade, like the Pistons trade Derrick Rose for like Kyle Kuzma and Danny Green. I think that's a win-win deal because D-Rose is on an expiring deal, and the Pistons at least get something. Kyle Kuzma, a young player, and yeah, so it's a tough call, but yeah, he may need a few more All-Star seasons. I think he just needs a title or a or like I guess a few more. I don't think he's gonna be an all-star, but just maybe win a sixth man of the year. That would help a lot. Next, Golden State Warriors with 2. No Draymond. Okay, so we got Steph Curry at a 99.9% chance and Clay at a 51.3% chance. This is a very interesting one. Okay, I think Steph and Clay are locks. Oh, Steph is a lock. Clay is probably going to be a lock because he is the second best shooter of all time. Well, a top 5 shooter, you can say maybe Ray Allen or Reggie Miller. Now Draymond is an interesting one. You have someone who he's very unclear as a defensive player of the year and 3-time All-Star, one of the most winning players in the NBA today, but it's just that this season he is the all-star role player, and when he win 4 championships, 4 all-star teams, a defensive player of the year, and a couple all-NBA teams and all defensive teams, I personally think he will be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he only averages 8 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, but he's just such a winning player. I think that he's not going to be a first ballot, but I think he will make it. Steph and Clay are going to make it. Next, we have the Rockets with 2, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. Definitely. Both have 99.9% chance to make it. They're both MVPs, and if they retired today, they would have made the Hall of Fame. 36% highest score season not named Wilt or Michael Jordan. And Westbrook is the last person since Oscar Robinson to average a triple-double, a 9-time All-Star, and they're just MVPs, and Westbrook is a top 10 point guard of all time, and Harden is a top 4 shooting guard of all time. Next pick, the Pacers with no. I think that is correct because Oladipo, the injury, I don't think he'll be a Hall of Famer now. Sabonis is a rising star, but I don't think he's going to make it. Miles Turner will make it. The Pacers need to get an identity, get that franchise player. I think they try to get Miles Turner for the 2nd pick. You get that LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards, then you build from there. Because they need an identity. And yes, so they have no Hall of Famers. Next, Clippers with 2, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Kawhi only has a 54% chance. I think he's a Hall of Famer already. He's a top 30 player of all time. So yeah, Kawhi is definitely a lock. Now, Paul George is an interesting one. Let's see, Leonard Peake gets him a lock before Paul George. 3rd in MVP. I think Paul George, if he has a few more productive season in a championship, should lock the player. He should name Paul George in the Hall of Fame. Now, this was, of course, before the playoffs, so they didn't know. They didn't know about, like, all that way off P and pandemic P stuff, but I think that if another, because Paul George is still in his prime, and I think if he has another 2 more All-Star seasons and even a championship, he's going to make the Hall. Next, the Lakers, 3, no. There's 5. No doubt, it's LeBron, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo, and Alex Caruso. I don't know what Bleacher Report is talking about. There's 5 players. LeBron, AD, Dwight, Caruso. Keep on forgetting about Caruso and Rondo. I get why they had Rondo here because this was before the championship. Now he's a no doubt Hall of Famer, but you gotta have Caruso in here. LeBron, it's a no-plainer, 100% chance. AD's gonna make it with this championship. Dwight's gonna make it because of his Orlando Magic days and a championship. And Rondo is before this, I get why he had a case for doing it, but with the championship, he's no doubt it. And then Caruso's the GOAT. So yeah, this is, besides adding Rondo and Caruso, then I guess this is 5. Next, Grizzlies, we got John Morant. I think he will be in the Hall of Fame, but I've heard people say that they think John Morant is going to be like a Derrick Rose. He is an explosive guard, but he actually might get injured. Of course, we're hoping that he does not get injured because no one wants injuries, and I think he will make it. But Jaren is a very interesting player because he is he's a 20 point per game scorer on 40% from 3, on about like 8 rebounds a game. His rebounding is pretty bad, but they have Jonas Valanciunas. But Jaren Jackson's going to be a very interesting player, but it's too early to project. Yeah. Next, we have the Heat with Jimmy Butler. Okay, yeah, I think Jimmy will make the Hall of Fame. Iguodala is a very interesting one because he has made 6 consecutive finals appearances, 1-time All-Star, only a 1-time finals MVP, and 1-time All-Star. I think Bam might be able to make it, but too early to tell. I think he will make the Hall of Fame soon because his versatility, and is one of the best passing big men in the league. He's just he fits the modern NBA. He can shoot a little bit, and I think Iguodala is a very interesting case. But I think Jimmy and Bam should be here. Next we have the Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Definitely Giannis is gonna make the Hall of Fame. I think this is like a 50% chance. You got Chris Middleton won't make it. This is a no-brainer. Next we have Cat. Oh, Minnesota Timberwolves with Cat. I think, yeah, Cat will make the Hall of Fame because he's already averaging 22, 12 boards, 2 assists, a block on 53, 40, 83 splits. That's very impressive. Now, he has to win a bit more. If he wins, I think he will make it. Now, adding D'Lo in the first overall pick, that might help, but it's just in the Western Conference. He's already been an All-Star, and he kind of had an injury-plagued season, 2019-20 season. His future decides by his winning. Yeah, I agree. And his defense improvement, definitely. Next, we have the Pelicans with the one Zion Williamson. Okay, Lonzo is not on here. Now, Brandon Ingram and Drew Holiday are very interesting players. I would say Drew Holiday is on the bubble. I think Zion can make the Hall of Fame, assuming he stays healthy. Definitely has the talent to do it. Now, Ingram is a very interesting player. I think Ingram will actually have a really good career and will make the Hall. And he's just going to be a 25-point per game scorer. Like, well, I don't know who to compare him right now, but just, I can't say Kevin Durant. I can't say him. But just like a Walmart Kevin Durant, something like that. Now, Drew Holiday has been a very consistent player, but he's only a one-time All-Star. And JJ Redick is also on the cusp. They're all veterans, but I don't think that, but just one All-Star game, they won't make the Hall. Okay, I can see that. Next one's Knicks with 0. Yeah, RJ won't make it. Mitchell Robinson won't make it. I think that's a no-brainer. Next, we have the Thunder with 1 and Chris Paul. I think Shea has a chance to make it. I would pick, yeah, I guess Shea and the Rising Stars. But yeah, Paul has a 100% chance. He's second. He's one of the greatest point guards of all time. And Shea has thrived with Paul and averaging 19 points a game, 6'5", combo guard. He can definitely make it in the future. But yeah, I agree with this. Next, Magic with 0. Definitely Vucevic is not making it. John Isaac has a chance if he wins like a Defensive Player of the Year and still averages like 12 points a game on a championship team. I don't think Markelle will make it. I think that's pretty no-brainer. I don't think John Isaac will make it though because of his injuries. Philly, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, yeah, you definitely have on the bubble Al Horford because of his times on the Hawks and Celtics. Now, if he was actually good on the Sixers, he might have cemented it, but because I think he will get traded to like the Kings. I think the Rockets would actually be a pretty good fit. And then Embiid or Simmons are gonna make it. They definitely will. They're a bit young still, but they're gonna make it. They're already consecutive All-Stars, all NBA teams. Yeah, Horford averaged 14, 8, 3, 1.2 blocks, just short of the Hall worthy. And then although they have injuries, Simmons and Embiid definitely have the talent. I think will make it. Next we have the Suns. Oh, with 0. Oh, that's very controversial. I think Devin Booker should be here because if you do have people like, let's see. I guess I didn't have Shea, but let's see. I think maybe if they have Cat here, or I think if they have Trae Young here, then you actually might want Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker will make it if he wins more. DeAndre Ayton has a chance to make it. I'm actually very high on Ayton, and I think he actually will be a dominant center, putting up like 20-10, good spacing. And especially if they get CP3 and they make like the playoffs with Devin Booker and Ayton, I think they're going to do so well. Booker is an one-time All-Star, averaged 26 points a game. Now Ayton, the first overall pick, already averaging 19, 12, and 1.7. He's very underrated. If I do an underrated list, I'm going to include DeAndre Ayton. Now, they have to win more, but I think I don't agree with this. I think Devin Booker should be on this. Next, for the Blazers, Carmelo Anthony and Damian Lillard. I agree with this. Melo's going to make the Hall of Fame and Dame's going to make the Hall of Fame. No one else, definitely. He's a 5-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, 29 points a game. This season, I think it was like 30 for Dame. And then Melo is a 10-time All-Star, already 17 seasons. And he's a lock. He's also the most decorated player in U.S. men's Olympic history, putting up 336 points because they take account all of basketball, so that definitely will help. And also college helps a lot, and actually he didn't go to college, but never mind that. Next, King Zero. I think Fox won't be a Hall of Famer. I think he will be close, like a Chauncey Billups, but Bagley is going to have injuries. Yeah, I agree with this. Next, Spurs with LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, this one is a very interesting one. LaMarcus Aldridge is in the Hall of Very Good. I don't know if you're going to have him there. Now, Derozan, if he stayed with the Raptors, or if he keeps on winning, I don't think the Spurs are a good fit for him, then he might be able to make it. But he's been one of the best big men since 2006, 7-time All-Star, 5 All-NBA teams, averaged 17, Mr. 20 and 10. Now he's starting to shoot more threes because he's a mid-range maestro. And if he shoots threes, then I think he is already 34, so it's going to be tough. But if he goes to like a contender, maybe like even the Celtics, then I think that, and he wins like a championship, then he's definitely make it. And I think DeRozan needs a change of scenery. Next, we have the Raptors with Kyle Lowry. Okay, I would have Marc Gasol in here, kind of, because he is an All-NBA first-team member, a Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, Marc Gasol is a very interesting player, and Pascal is definitely on the cusp, and let's see, so Kyle Lowry will definitely make it. Now, Gasol is the end of his career. He's a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, and 2012-2013 Defensive Player of the Year. He's also the best player in Memphis Grizzlies history, and I'm pretty sure, this might have been Pau, but I'm pretty sure he played for Spain in the Olympics, so no, that's Manu who beat USA, but I think his Spain time should help a lot, but I think he has a chance to make it. He's definitely over Aldridge, but it's going to be tough. And Pascal, he still needs to prove more. And then we have the Jazz with, oh no, I think I have zero. It's not zero. I have Mitchell here. I think that Mitchell will be a Hall of Famer because, Gobert is very interesting, but I don't think he's going to make it. Now, Mitchell's already putting up 30 points in the playoffs. That's insane when he's offensive threat. You got Jordan Clarkson and Mike Conley, who are pretty good. But he's already averaging 25 points a game. Mike Conley is pretty interesting because he is the second best player in Grizzlies history, but never made an All-Star game, so I don't think he will. But I think Mitchell will definitely make the All-Star game. And finally, Washington Wizards, we got 2 players, John Wall and Bradley Beal. This is so tough to say because we don't know how John Wall is going to be. I think they have 0 because Beal still needs to prove that he can win. But I still think he has a chance to make it because he's only 26 and I think he will make it. Wall is 30 and just came back from an Achilles tear, but he said he's better than ever. And so I think they might have a chance to do it. But right now, yeah, I think I kind of agree with this because Beal's only 26 and I think he has like 5 more years of his prime. And I think he might make it. So yeah, that's going to be the video. I hope you all enjoy. This was so fun to watch. Remember to subscribe to the channel because here on the Mix channel we make like daily videos. And I would really appreciate it. You can comment down below any other Bleacher Report articles you want me to react to. And I'll see you all next time.